What is up, car addicts? In this video I'm going to be giving a guide for this week's normal time trial, RC Bandito time trial, and the premium race for this week, totaling over $300,000. Remember, the time trials can only be completed once a week for the full $100,000 payout. The premium race, however, can be completed in a limited amount of times with a 48-minute cooldown between each win. Also keep in mind that rocket-powered / flying vehicles cannot be used in time trials. And of course, all of these will be in the snow because of the current festive event week. So, starting off with the time trial this week, which is Elysian Island 2, I highly recommend either the Shotaro, Pikachu Drag, or a Batty 801 for this time trial. Bikes in general are a lot easier to control in the snow in comparison to cars. However, this time trial does give a good bit of extra time, so there's a lot of other vehicles you can complete it with as well. In terms of route, this one is pretty easy with only a few shortcuts throughout, and depending on what vehicle you're using, there are other risky shortcuts as well. And I will say that in my run towards the end, I did accidentally take the slower route, so just make sure you do this one instead. Now usually I challenge myself by picking either the prize ride or the casino podium car of the corresponding event week, but for this one I decided to do something a little bit different and use the brand new drip feed supercar that released today, which is the Overflod Xeno. Now this car is rear-wheel drive, which isn't exactly ideal for snow, but I still gave it a shot and I was able to complete it pretty easily. Moving on to this week's RC Bandito time trial, which is Davis Quartz. As always, you need to own an RC Bandito in order to participate in these. Now this one is pretty tricky if you've never done it before due to the high speed areas and the bumpy turns as well. Especially in the snow, it can get pretty tricky. It does make it a bit more difficult. And for the tighter corners, make sure you go nice and slow. Do not get on that throttle until you're completely around the specific turn. And when you use your brakes, make sure to press them in about halfway, not all the way, or you might lose control of the Bandito. And something I want to mention is that the new UI they gave the Bandito in free mode that's kind of similar to the Nano Drone was for some reason also transferred over to the RC time trial, which personally I find a bit annoying with that strange filter, but again, I would have wished it was a normal view. Something we have to deal with. I'm not sure if Rockstar will change it in the future. Probably not, but anyways, here's my run in the RC Bandito. And lastly, we have this week's premium race, which is Downtown Underground. Now this one is restricted to the supercars class. It's a corner intensive supercar race combining high speed and low speed corners as well. And in the snow, it's very challenging and actually pretty fun if you calculate your braking points properly. I highly recommend using either the Krieger, Amaris, Wagner, S80RR, or Thrax for this race, with the best one being the Krieger for consistency in the snow, at least in my opinion, because of its all-wheel drive system. Now instead of just picking the Krieger, which is the best one for this, I decided to try out the new Pegassi Ignis, that's also all-wheel drive as well, and it was a pretty good driving experience in the snow, a lot better than most of the rear-wheel drive supercars in the same conditions. And that's it, guys. The normal time trial is pretty tricky because of the traffic in combination with the snow, but if you use a bike, you should be able to beat it pretty easily. The RC time trial is pretty tricky as well, but just take it slow and you should be fine. And this week's premium race definitely requires a consistent supercar with good traction in the snow. Again, remember guys, you can earn over $300,000 between the three this week, and setting yourself to go to beat them is always a lot of fun in my personal opinion. Let me know which one you found most difficult and what vehicles you used down below in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.